Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pandrea Finance. My name is Alex Pandrea and I am very excited for today's video because today I get to share with you the journey of becoming a millionaire. Your journey, hopefully. Now, the reason that I am confident enough to make a video like this is because I've done it. And I truly believe that if you are the type of person who is already watching this video to better yourself rather than wasting your time doing who knows what, then you have what it takes to become a millionaire. This video will be broken down into different sections. In each section, I will discuss a different way that anyone can start with a small cash sum and turn it into a lot of money. We'll talk about starting a business, real estate, crypto, options, the market, you name it. And hopefully you'll find your fit in one of these sections, if not maybe all of them. Now, this isn't going to be one of those general videos, but rather a detailed and specific plan of attack. Now, all I ask for you in return is to hit that like button. It helps out the channel, and I'm also going to say it's gonna give you good karma if you do it. You might actually do it. If you hit the like button, you will become a millionaire. How's that? Huh? Alrighty, so if you are ready, then so am I. Let's get into it. When I was 23 years old, I started my magic and playing card business with less than $10,000. In a little over 1 year, I was making over $1 million. And I did it in an industry that is very niche. Niche. Is it niche? Niche? Let's go with niche. And that industry was teaching magic tricks, basically creating an online school for aspiring magicians, and also producing and selling playing cards and other secret little things magicians need. Now, I've taken my success and I've broken it down into how you can do the same. So, starting a business. How do we do it and how do we do it successfully? Step number one, the simple question. You need to answer a very simple question. What problem am I solving with my business? For me, magicians really didn't have a place to learn magic besides old books and brick and mortar magic shops. When I expanded into custom playing cards, magicians were using standard boring bicycle decks and were craving a replacement for those. I tried to fill a need and solve an existing problem. So that is what you are going to do. Take your notebook, take your pen, and start writing down problems that you see in day-to-day life, or more specifically in that industry that you want to go into. You're going to write down what the problems are and then write down the solutions. Now, it doesn't matter right now if the solutions are not achievable or even make too much sense. Just write them down and fill up as many pages as you can. Step number two is research. Start researching your industry and learning as much as possible about it. Buy the products and services offered in your industry, be a part of the online groups and read books on the topics, and also learn the stories of other successful people in your industry. Now, why did I put this as step two rather than step number one? Because now, while researching and growing your knowledge, you will then go back to your list and start crossing off the things that you wrote down that won't work, or highlighting the things that now you think, oh, that's good. This way, you can start your list off without any preconceived notions, and then your research will provide a process of elimination for that list. Step number three, start selling. All right, the next step, you have to turn your idea into a business and generate some money. So how are we going to do that? Well, we are going to sell goods or services related to that business, either direct to consumer or through a distributor or wholesaler, or direct to a business for their use. To sell your goods and services, you'll most likely need a website, right? I use Shopify for my online stores, of which I have 5 of, but there are many online platforms that you can use. If any of them want to sponsor this video, you can of course also use things like eBay and Amazon, Etsy to start off with, but I think it's much easier to set up your own Shopify store, for example, and fully run your business rather than having to rely on, let's say, Amazon to push your products on their site. All right, good. We are doing great so far. We now know what we are doing. We now know the industry and we have the means to sell. Now it is time for step number 4. Step number 4, start building your audience. It's a very simple formula. The more people that you can reach, the more money you're going to make. Wow, thanks, Alex. Glad you come here for the real secrets. All right, but stay with me. You're gonna try to build your audience as organically as possible. You can of course run ads and things like that, but to start off with, you might not need to. You got social media, start a YouTube channel, collect emails, and give out free product. There are a lot of things that you can do organically to grow your audience, especially in the beginning. Now, once you are in front of a lot of people, you have to start providing as much value to them as possible. This is the secret to selling without selling. If you are genuine in solving that problem and you provide your customers with a lot of value along the way, then you will make money. From this point, it is just a numbers game. For example, you can take a very conservative 2% conversion rate as a standard and work backwards from there. So if you want to sell, let's say 100 items of your product, you will need at least 5,000 potential customers. Boom, now you can predict with pretty good accuracy how much money you will be making. If you follow these steps, you will be successful at whatever you may take on because, well, I believe in you. Let's talk about how we can turn $5,000 into $1 million using one of the most secure ways to grow wealth, and that is real estate. Now, out of all the things that I'm going to talk about today, real estate is probably the most certain and most predictable way that one can become a millionaire. It doesn't rely on anything but sticking to a process, repeating a formula, and over time your money will grow exponentially. Now, I am going to break down the process of buying your first rental property to scaling up and building a real estate empire. That sounds good. Real estate empire. Okay, maybe not so much, but I mean, why not? Who's stopping you? Nobody. That's right. Step number 1 for this is going to be down payment. Okay, so as a first-time homeowner, you can qualify for a loan with a down payment as low as 3.5% to 5% as long as you meet certain conditions like living in the home for the first year, things like that. So do your research on FHA loans or how you can be approved in your state or where you live for a conventional mortgage with a 5% down payment. Like with everything, you're going to need to do research, so talk to your bank, talk to lenders, and familiarize yourself with the process. Okay, so whether or not you can find homes in the $100,000 range is debatable, but for the purpose of this video, let's use this as a round number to make everything easy to follow. Let's say you get a mortgage for your first property and you put down $3,500 plus all your closing costs and other expenses. Let's say you're in it for a total of $5,000. Step number 2 is going to be rent out the property. Okay, so now you are going to rent out the property and have your tenant pay your mortgage down for you. This basically means, if you think about it, that somebody else is buying your home for you. Thank you very much. As the rent is paying off your mortgage, your equity in your home is increasing. Now, whether you make a profit from the cash flow that is coming in from the rent is irrelevant right now as long as you don't have to outlay money each month to pay your mortgage. If after the rent is collected from the tenant and pay forward towards the mortgage and other expenses are covered, if you have something left over, then even better. But do not get too hung up on your first property generating a 5% return or an 8% return. Because you put up so little money to begin with, you could have went to a garage sale and bought $5,000 worth of stuff and flipped it and doubled your money in a year. So that's not the point, to make a massive return on that $5,000 in your first rental property. The point is that you got the snowball rolling and you got the process down and it is working, and now you control an asset that is worth $100,000. Step number 3, repeat and repeat. You will now expand by repeating this process each year or every few years. One rental property isn't going to make you rich, but if you continue to buy properties throughout the years, before you know it, you will have a portfolio of many properties, and that generates you more and more money, and that will make you rich. So the second purchase, you won't be able to put 3.5% down, but you might still be able to get a conventional loan and put only 5% down. Again, you need to research your particular situation and build a relationship with the banks. It's a big tip. That will help you all around. So boom, now you have your second property and you can, what do? Repeat the same process over and over again. Maybe in 5 years you have 2 to 3 rental properties. Maybe in 10 years you have 6 or 7 rental properties. And by the time your 30-year mortgage is up from your first property, you might have more than 20 homes and apartments that will continue to generate you income month after month. It's pretty good. That was easier than I thought. That is what you will be saying at the end of these years. Trust me. Step number 4, refinance and expand. Now, at a certain point, you're going to want to expand into more than just single family apartments or homes. Let's say you own 3 rental properties at this point, and let's say you want to start investing in duplexes and triplexes. One thing that you can do is do a cash refinance on the properties that you already have, and the bank will actually give you cash in hand, a loan basically on your assets, which then you can take and reinvest into bigger and better real estate. When you get into these multifamily homes, you'll really start to see the cash flow come in because they usually rent out for a bigger percentage than just regular single family homes. So here's the plan. You are going to use your assets that you have, which you have used other people's money to create that portfolio of assets, of which you will cash refinance and then take out cash in your hands that the bank will give you to expand into even more assets that you will later in the future cash refinance out some more, and the wheel continues to spin round and round it goes, making you more and more money. So there you go. We've started with a small amount and grew it step by step into a portfolio now worth millions. You're welcome. Now, while you're following these steps and building your wealth, you are going to need to start making investments that the wealthy make. This is where today's video sponsor comes in, Masterworks.io. In 2019, Jeff Bezos bought Hurting the Word Radio #2 by Ed Ruscha for $52 million. That's right, $52 million. Now, you might be thinking that that is a lot for one painting. But what if I told you that price actually made total sense? In fact, what if I told you that it was an incredible investment? See, art as an asset class has outperformed the S&P 500 by 168% from 1995 to 2021. On top of that, it has shown almost no correlation to any major asset class. Jeff was just simply diversifying his portfolio. Yes, I am on first name basis with Jeff, my buddy Jeff. I mean, we have a lot in common. We both invest in art. All right, let's be honest. We're not all like Jeff Bezos. I mean, I don't have $52 million just lying around to invest. However, I found this incredible investing app that allows you to invest in art. It allows you to invest like Jeff without needing billionaire status. Masterworks.io is the first and only art investment platform. Here is how they do it. Masterworks buys artworks ranging from $1 million to $30 million by artists like Banksy and Picasso. They then securitize them with the SEC, allowing investors to buy shares on their site in an initial offering similar to an IPO. Once you have bought part of your favorite piece, you can then hold on to it until the piece is sold, at which point you can then cash out, or you can sell your shares on the secondary market to somebody else. Of course, one of the best parts of investing with Masterworks is that they really know what they're doing when it comes to selling art. In fact, they have returned 32% to their investors in 2020 and 31% in 2021. So if that sounds interesting to you, and if diversifying your investment portfolio is important, then make sure to check out Masterworks.io. I have left a link to Masterworks down in the description below, so check it out, and let's get back to the video. So we've talked about starting your own business, we've talked about real estate. By the way, both of these you can do simultaneously. And now we are going to add the third tried and true method of turning a small investment into millions, and that is investing in the market. Something that you might already be familiar with. We are going to do this using stocks, options, and of course, gotta have a little bit of cryptocurrency. So what is the best method really for doing this? Is it to YOLO your whole account and hope to hit it big? Yes, that's exactly what we are going to do. Thank you and good night. All right, so seriously, there are two approaches. The long and somewhat boring way, and then the exciting and a little bit risky way. If you are young, then you can afford to take more risks. Just look at every 12-year-old on Wall Street bets. If, on the other hand, you're already working and you have a career and you have a family, you might not be able to take a lot of risk, and that's okay too. Either way, the first step is just to start right away. Time in the market beats timing the market. That is the famous saying, and it's famous for a reason. It must be true. We are not going to try to time anything because, let's be honest, we're just going to be wrong. We are going to invest in good, solid stocks with a majority of our capital. And I say majority because we want to save a little bit of our capital to really go for those long shots and really try to hit it big with certain investments. Okay, the next thing that we want to start doing is generating income from our portfolio. Investing in dividend-paying stocks is a good way to start building that compound interest. We can see capital appreciation on our portfolio, but if we get paid a dividend on top of it, even better. On top of this, you are going to learn to sell covered calls on your stocks. This is going to be an essential part of that snowball effect. Selling covered calls on your portfolio will generate passive income. By the way, click over here if you want to learn to start selling options. Right there. Now we're already ahead of the game. We have a stock portfolio with dividend stocks. We are selling options on our portfolio. We're generating income for our investments. Now what? All right, can you guess the next step? Oh, yeah, I heard one of you say it. That's right, reinvest. You get paid a dividend, reinvest it back into buying more stock. You sell some covered calls and collect a premium, reinvest that premium into buying more stock. Remember, the point of this is to build your investments exponentially, so the last thing that you want to do is start taking that passive income that is helping you build that snowball and take it out. This will have a massive impact on your long-term goal. Step number 4, go big or go home. Okay, we've been good boys and girls thus far with the first 3 steps. We are building our future through solid, smart investments and being consistent. Now it is time to have a bit of fun. Take a percentage of your portfolio, whatever you are comfortable with, and put them into things like cryptocurrency, put them into out-of-the-money call options, put them in digital land and NFTs or whatever else the hype is. If you are willing to lose that money, then you should definitely go for it because you never know. I put a small amount of my portfolio into crypto years ago, and now it is worth in the multi-millions. And I didn't do anything special. I wasn't an expert on crypto, and I just took a chance because why not? You have one life to live, and there is no shame in taking chances to make it as successful as possible. So go ahead, take a chance because you never know. We've done it. We have completed the trifecta of becoming a millionaire, all from a small investment. Something that you can start today. Right now. What are you waiting for? This video is almost over, so you might as well just start right now. Get started with any one or all 3 of these methods. They are not mutually exclusive. So when you start your business and start making some income, you can go ahead and get your first property. Money is coming in from that business and from your property. Boom, you invest in the market. Some in crypto, some in good solid stocks, some in options. You start generating that passive income. And with that passive income, you invest again and again back into the market, back into your homes, back into your business, and the wheel just never ends. I mean, eventually it will, but it's a morbid thought right now. Let's just hope the wheel keeps on turning until you're dizzy from all the money that you will make. Now, big news. You can now come join me on Patreon. Since a lot of you have asked, the link is down below in the description. You can follow my investments and trades, and I plan on doing some really interesting things there. So check out the link, come join the fun. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next video. Pandrea, out.